Back to my channel, and today we're taking a look at the game called The Black Ice. Now this is an upcoming horror survival type of game which I would want to say kind of looks and feels like a little bit of Resident Evil meets Fort Solis. And yeah, anyway, let's have a look-see. So as per usual, let's talk about requirements. As minimum, you need an Intel Core i3 6th Gen or Ryzen 3 1200, 8GB of RAM, and either GeForce GTX 1060 or Radeon's RX 580. For recommended specs, you need pretty much the same CPU on both sides, 12GB of RAM, and GeForce GTX 1660 or Radeon's RX 6500 XT. Now, the game is currently available as a demo to play. Obviously, you are able to just kind of gouge it, but we'll talk about this in a second. So first and foremost, we're going full screen, 2K native resolution, no frame rate limit, no vertical sync. For graphics, we're going with an Epic preset, that's the highest I can get. And we're gonna be changing a couple things. This game is made in Unreal Engine, so obviously it does have baked in Lumen, so we're gonna be using Lumen for global illumination and reflections, no motion blur. And on top of that, we will be using NVIDIA's RTX as well. No DLSS, no frame gen, no FSR, and scaling will be on Epic. I'm not entirely sure what they mean with scaling, because you do have extreme, but this is as per preset, so we'll just see how it goes. So let's start a new game and see how we go. So let's start a new save and see, because I did launch the game obviously. You do get a disclaimer for this game that, hey, you know, some features might not work and this is a demo, and I just wanted to see what is the state of the demo. Not because I don't trust the devs, it's just sometimes technical preview demos do struggle either to launch or play, or you get soft locked, so you know, it's always a good thing to just double check prior you start doing all of this. And to be fair, so far I do like it. Also, we're gonna be... I can easily now talk during the first segment because I know what's gonna happen, and everyone who played the demo will know what is happening there, so no spoilers, so to say. Also, I'm kind of happy that the demo includes the first start of the game rather than a random mission from a middle. You do get progression in this game, you do get guns, you do have to fight enemies, and you do have to walk around and collect things to open things. So things as codes for entry, padlock codes, keys, multiple variables in regards to the lore, and so on and so forth. But at the same time, the most important thing outside of all of this is the performance.
Do you copy?
Alec, what's your status?
It's a strong storm. I've reached the cliff. I'll continue on foot. There is an SOS signal nearby. I'll let you know once I reach Vostok.
Understood. We'll be waiting for news.
Looks like a passage between these cliffs.
So yeah, currently we're pulling 7.5 gigs of video memory allocated, and 9 gigs of RAM, and we are above 60 frames. Now this is with Lumen and RTX combined, which I never really thought is going to be the case, because usually Lumen is being used for global illumination and light reflections as well, so you kind of don't need to rely on NVIDIA's RTX implementation. One of the upsides, I guess, for Unreal Engine 5. On other hand, I must say that this game actually does feel pretty smooth. So you do have this artificially induced slowness, but it's not exactly like a Twitch shooter. So even though it's a third person game, you do kind of have to check your surroundings, and it's gonna take much longer than, let's say, in Dead Space, where you can just flick back and forth. Obviously, this place takes all what happens is within Russian base, so most of the writings will be in Russian, and I find this a little bit odd, because the game does have options for language. You can select either Russian or English, and when it comes to Russian language as the base, I would want to say that this is where I'm a little bit confused, because only the Russian speakers will actually know what's been written on. So there's not much information that the English speakers could go on, and none of those things are actually essentially translated, if that makes sense. Also, one of the things, even though the performance actually stays pretty consistent throughout the demo, I did get a sneak peek towards the rest of the game, and I got to say, so even though we're currently getting 100 frames in this location, in the further down the road, so to say, for this game, the performance frame rate wise will be down to about like 65-70ish. And it's not exactly like a spoiler alert, it's just I think that this particular location, as the first mission segment, is more polished and more finished than anything else that we've seen. And obviously for our demo purposes, also the rest of the game is kinda not exactly there yet. And I'm talking about like translation. So for the demo part you can select English or Russian. For the sneak peek I was able to just see that there's no English translation as of yet, which obviously it's not surprising, you know, end of the day. So yeah, but the game is still in development, and as I've always said, all these little things, they can be flushed out, and I'm more concerned about the performance because, as you know, Unreal Engine 5 sometimes is a very unhappy puppy when it comes to it. But for this particular title, even though it's all Lumen and RTX together, I mean, the performance is very good. You can see at the frame time, we're not stuttering, we're not making waves and like lag or anything else. It just works, which I think is the most important thing for every game, specifically if it's a horror game. So yeah. And I was pleasantly surprised about the performance. I still am. Because in comparison with Fort Solis, which essentially I think now is on discount for like $450 or something, the performance is nowhere near as good as for this game. And that should tell you something, because Fort Solis technically is graphically more enjoyable, but at the same time it's more
I'm inside.
Resource taxing, if that makes sense. But I cannot say that graphically this does not look good. This really sets the scene. So yeah, gonna listen to these things.
Damn it! You said you were recording. Yeah. The more I work here, the less I understand why I even agreed to this job. Management asked everyone to keep diaries for reporting purposes. If you're listening to this, go to hell! Tomorrow, I'm handing in my resignation, and you can deal with the storms and ice blocks in the cliffs yourselves. I'm fed up with the local fauna.
So one of the clues we get here is that the guy is fed up with the local fauna, which essentially is flora is for vegetation, fauna is for animals, and hard to imagine what kind of animals might be down here. But then again, this is a horror game, so things will be sometimes a bit odd and weird.
It's locked.
So this location is for saving the game. Obviously you saw I did have some save games already. Things like this, like environmental storytelling, I would assume that if you select English language, that should actually be translated as for English speakers, because this poster is quite motivational. Essentially it says the cold is not scary if your heart is hot. So I think, like, for everyone who does survival or, you know, just mountaineering in general, that probably would be quite motivational when you think about it. Like, you know, it doesn't matter about the weather. And little things like these, I kind of feel like people might just miss miss
Are
out
you
on it
hiding from
because
the
they just,
storm?
you know, if you don't speak the language, you don't speak the language.
I hope
End
I
of.
haven't gained too much
can't just
weight while
suddenly
I'm sitting at this station.
Learn it just because, and also it's not giving you the subtitles for it when you look at the things, like when we played, what was that lovely game, the Chronos, right? If you look at a Polish writing on a wall, the game actually translates it for you. So I find it very, very cool as a feature. That should be the case when you at least look at the object. If you don't translate it outright, because obviously you know how many languages you can translate everything, you should at least give people what and how. Also, we need to read this. So yeah.
What the hell?
At least emergency lighting is on and it says no signal there.
It's locked. Looks like everyone really is hiding in the complex from the weather.
So yeah, I would want to say, like, I really like the premise. Like, the way it's been handled as an atmosphere is actually kind of nice. Also, for all these vehicles to be working, it kind of reminds me of the Siberia, the far north in Russia, like Yakutsk, where it's so cold they don't actually turn off the vehicles once they're started. They just let them idle because otherwise the oil will freeze. I'm not sure if this is with the same ideology in hand, but yeah, I mean, I kind of think it's kind of cool.
Hey! Is anyone there?
Also, the light kind of dissipates pretty interesting, but at the same time, I don't know if this is RTX or Lumen, because I would expect I would expect a bit more light bleeding in on the background, like a little bit more refractions from the metal case, but I guess you just can't have it all at any given time, but hey ho. And yeah, as you can see, we are now down to like a point where it dropped down to 65 frames. So on the bright side, with Lumen and RTX enabled on epic settings, not falling below 65 in 2K, I think it's a pretty decent thing, you know. Like, I cannot say that, oh, this is bad. But then again, for
Hey, Oleg, do you still not believe me? I told you that the snow cover next to us won't hold for long. All that the drilling scientists are doing has seriously weakened the structure. If we don't start reinforcing it, everything will collapse. We already saw cracks on the surface yesterday. You can call me paranoid, but we need to act. If we don't want surprises, it's better to take precautions.
angry mechanics. And I guess one good thing about this game's demo is that it really doesn't give away anything about the game.
Damn it!
I think that's probably my most favorite thing about this game. That so far we haven't seen anything. Not an enemy, nothing we cannot solve, and it's all beautiful. Like, it looks good. Like, when it comes to Unreal Engine 5, and I've been jumping up and down about this on my channel, when it comes to Unreal Engine 5, you can make things look picture perfect realistic, but none of that will count if the performance is absolutely tanked. In this game, the performance and visuals are pretty much on a level where I would expect Unreal Engine 5 to be utilized, which, again, it doesn't mean it's a bad engine. You just need to know how to use it, or which branch of it to use, because once you do that, everything else is just gonna work. So yeah.
Oh my god. What the hell happened here?
Okay, this is a little bit different for demo purposes. Okay, right. So it says no escape or no exit, so to say. Východy нет. And this is the third person aiming and stuff, so kind of looks like Resident Evil, you know, kind of over the shoulder, very close, and kind of zooms in. And you will have enemies to deal with, obviously many more guns than just a pistol. I think there's an SMG, an assault rifle, and a shotgun, perhaps something else as well. But yeah, this model is they've changed it for the Black Ice stuff. I'm not gonna tell you what probably will be there on a main release of the game, but yeah, this is actually they got me. The puzzle solving obviously is a little bit both environmental puzzles like the electricity and stuff, but overall, yeah. And this will be the end of the demo, because it supposedly should be at least 15 minutes, and I've been cheesing through it without as in regards the first time. But yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you found this informative, and maybe you are actually looking forward to this game. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Over.
Is anyone here?